Hello, friends of the VisionCrypto channel. My name is Arian, and my channel is all about crypto and chart analysis, and explained as simply as possible. I want to dedicate a whole video to Cardano again because there have been some news about it in the last 2 days, which could have quite a bullish effect on the price. And just this news, even though it hasn't really been confirmed yet, has already led to the price standing out positively compared to most other prices. Before we talk about the news and take a look at the chart, I have 2 organizational points again. Point number 1, if you like my content, I always say for each video, it takes me about 4 hours to get everything ready for publication. So feel free to give the video a thumbs up and leave me a short comment. And of course, you are also welcome to subscribe to the channel. And secondly, I want to point out that since my partner has a birthday this week, we decided to take a little wellness getaway over the weekend. That means there won't be a market overview this weekend, but I'm thinking about maybe next week I'll make a video where I discuss all the prices with you again. But let's get started. Let's dive into the news. Some of you might have noticed Grayscale submits an application. A Cardano ETF is coming soon. Yes, we've already seen that with Bitcoin. There is an ETF, and this ETF for Bitcoin has already brought in a total of $100 billion into the market. Of course, it can't be assumed that it will be on the same scale for Cardano. With Ethereum, it hasn't really made as strong an impact as hoped, but despite all that, it's a good sign that the crypto market is gaining more acceptance. And above all, every dollar that is invested in such an ETF, if it gets approved, also means that it will lead to a somewhat more positive price for Cardano. Additionally, the blockchain has now completed its last of the 5 development phase, and that means that Cardano, or rather the blockchain, is now gradually being handed over. The token holder bypasses, which practically means it goes into the community and Cardano so that it really becomes decentralized. And basically, even though Cardano hasn't been doing so well in terms of price lately, a lot of people are disappointed all the time. Despite all that, Cardano is still in 9th place according to market cap. That means we really have a very, very large and well-known exchange here, which will surely surprise one or the other in the future. But let's take a look at the overall chart and try to bring some order to what all these drawings mean. Before we get started, I want to point out that it looks like the bull run might actually last until the fall, especially since the altcoins haven't really picked up speed yet. There might be some of you who are thinking, hey, maybe I need a wallet that I can use because I don't want to leave everything on my exchange until the fall. That's why I definitely recommend the Tangem wallet, and right now there's a special offer. In addition to the 10% discount you get when you order through me, you'll also receive an additional 5% that Tangem adds on top as a discount. That means right now there's a 15% discount on this wallet. I can really highly recommend it. And already a lot of users have ordered the wallet, not just from me, but also from others. Feel free to check it out in the video description below. Back to the price. We can assume for Cardano that we built a wave 1 or a wave A during the rise last year, and that we have moved down in the bear market, then either into a wave 2 or a wave B. And we have moved back up here in the current bull run, which, if we're honest, doesn't really feel like a bull run for Cardano yet. The problem is, when you look at this here, I've revised the chart a bit. It looks like we are in a trend channel here, and trend channels are not necessarily a sign that the whole thing is developing bullishly, but often they are just corrective patterns that suggest the price is likely to sell off again. Whether this will happen prematurely or only after the current cycle, i.e. when Bitcoin has found its high, is not yet certain in any case. We do have 2 bullish interpretations here, but also a bearish interpretation, at least in the medium term, which for me is almost a dominant count right now. And that's why I want to first focus on this count. Count number 1 is, and that's why I want to first focus on this count. This would mean that since this wave 2, we are building an ABC structure, which indicates that the price will go up again, falls down, and then this wave 2 builds a bit lower again before the next upward impulse starts. Right now, it looks like we have built a wave A and B since the bottom of the bear market. And we are now entering a wave C, which is formed in 5 parts, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we would have completed this wave C, and after that it would mean that the price would drop down again, which could also trigger either a bear market low or maybe just a temporary correction before rising further in the fall. I now only give outsider chances to the bullish count that I've drawn here, simply because a wave 3 always has to be the longest wave, and because wave 4 ran so low, we are now running up here. In this wave 3, that would mean that then the subordinate wave 3, strictly speaking, this one here is almost shorter than wave 5, which we would still need to build or expand. And that's why I'm giving this thing an outside chance and this ABC structure, which I can see now. Just as an outsider chance that this whole thing could still play out like this. There is still an extremely bullish variant. I don't have it on the chart because I don't really give it any hope. But for Cardano, maximalists, or those who still want to live off the opium to some extent, it would be like this if this trend channel were completed here, practically in this area. That we have already developed a wave 1 here, that there is a wave 2 here, and that we are now going up again really steeply, going into the higher level wave 3, and then price targets above 850 would be possible. But as I said, given the shortness of the bull run that we still have ahead of us with Bitcoin, I consider that to be almost impossible. The Cardano, it would develop so immensely again, because from the bottom up to here, it would have to increase in value by over 15x that of Cardano, while Bitcoin would perhaps increase in value by another 50 or 60%. That's why, as I said, I don't consider it completely impossible or relatively unlikely. If the price were to really shoot up impulsively, maybe just because of this ETF, perhaps if it gets approved, then I will definitely mark it more precisely on the chart and inform you as soon as possible. Now let's take a look at the short-term chart together. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame together. This is the yellow trend reversal box where we would most likely drop down if this is the end for Cardano. Definitely so. For a rough orientation, we have completed the larger wave 2 here, and now we are in wave 3, and then we have completed wave 3 through an ABC structure. And if this were to happen, it would mean that we have completed our wave 4 here, which has come down quite deep. However, since there hasn't been a sustainable drop below the 0.5 Fibonacci level of wave 4, we can currently count it this way. Despite all that, I put a question mark behind it, which would mean here in the white count that we have now moved up here into a wave 1, then down into a wave 2, where this Fibonacci level has held up very well, is where we would now be on the way to a wave 3, which will also be formed in 5 parts. So that would be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3, then another wave 4 for correction, and finally a wave 5, where we would then roughly arrive at the end of this trend reversal box, and then this cycle for Cardano could very well be coming to an end. Now let's take a look at what the price target would look like, and we need to take this here from the low of wave 2, we move up to the top of wave 3, and let's assume that we have found our bottom here. And then we apply that to the wave, seeing and that would mean that Cardano, due to wave 4 having dropped so far down, should also find its end roughly here in this trend reversal area, just as I mentioned earlier, in this yellow box. And even if the price goes above this target for wave 5, it will eventually run out of steam. That means not much would be expected in that case. And even if one were to say that this would have been a liquidation candle and we wouldn't take it into account any further, then we would only run up to this trend reversal area at most before the price then moved back down. Right now, it's also possible that we have already found the top here. Then the counting down here would be a bit different. In any case, it would be like this. If we had already found the top here, we would now be we are in a downward channel, which means in a larger ABC structure, and we are right in the middle of it, already expanding wave A in a wave 1, a wave 2. That would be wave 3 going down here. Right now, we have moved up into the wave 4. The target would also fit, and then it would move down into the wave. That would then be a larger bearish wave A before we move further into a wave B. And then a wave C comes until we move down here into this trend reversal area, just as I have already shown in the larger chart. That means either we have another increase here, which I tend to believe will happen, and if no more comes, then we would already be directly in the sell-off down here. And as I said, whether this really signals a true bear market low or if it's just a temporary correction, we'll have to see later on how things develop in the summer. But I can actually imagine that there might be an overshooting wave B here that just runs a bit higher and then crashes back down. And that cycle top at Cardano then found in this bull run. And that would also mean that Cardano hasn't really managed to enter a bull run at all, but rather that this has just been a bear market rally. And then we could really start moving up from down here into a wave 3, which would probably be quite significant. If you don't want to be transparent to the tax office, then that's not the case. Means that they should not have all of your data in the crypto area, and you also do not want to spend hours identifying yourself and submitting documents. And if you want to trade your favorite coins without the EU saying not this coin because we don't like it, then you need an exchange where that's not the case. I personally trade on CoinEx and enjoy the freedoms I want to have. What you need to sign up is an email address and a password of your choice. And then you're registered and can trade freely. Instead of fewer, there are more coins. The fees are moderate, and those who sign up now can receive a welcome bonus of up to $100. Are you doing it the way I do? Go to CoinEx and sign up. I hope today's video had some exciting information for you. If that's the case, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and drop me a short comment. Or maybe just a little smiley. That would push the algorithm and do the channel good. And I want to point out that there's another exciting chart analysis waiting for you in the credits. I wish you all a great time. Until the next video, and bye.